Good morning, grade 10s. Yay, Monday. If you guys can give me a green check mark, please, in Blackboard, that would be fantastic. And we shall get started here. All right. I'm thinking there'll be a few people still trickling in this morning. You know, it is only Monday. We got to give everybody a slow start, even myself. So hopefully everyone had a fantastic weekend, you guys. Nice to see you, Corbin. If you guys can give me those green check marks. Jenna, Leads, if you're back, make sure you put yourself back in the room. That'd be great. Make sure you're also, you guys, that you're in the live classroom as well, right? Make sure that you are there. And I think everyone's there as well. So great job, you guys. And like I said, I hope you had a great weekend. And let's just jump right in. We've been talking about World War II. We've been talking about the significance of World War II, that sort of thing. Remember too, we took a look last class at political cartoons and how to analyze a political cartoon, and really dove into that. And we're going to tie that in to today's topic as well. So we're going to be taking a further deeper look into what happened into one of the major events of World War II in Germany, and that's the Holocaust. That's where we're going to be heading into and delving into today. So we're really going to be working on a lot of our skill-based stuff today. All right, you guys. Number one, we're going to be doing, again, analyzing a bit of a political cartoon here at the beginning. Then we're going to get into looking at some mapping skills and some chart skills, that sort of stuff. Then I actually have a really great documentary for you guys to watch. It's about 45 minutes long. Then we're going to do a lot of discussion around that. All right. So here we go. This is basically what I just went over with you guys. I don't think there's any announcements for this morning. Just a reminder, you guys, be checking your grades on a daily basis. Make sure that you're checking the calendar on a daily basis so you know what's coming up for the week, what this class schedule looks like for the week, that sort of thing. Oh, I know what I wanted to mention. Thank you to you guys who came out to Experience OC. I hope you guys had a fun time and that you actually, got a taste of what it was like to be on campus. And I hope you enjoyed that experience. So thanks to those guys who came out. I know Mr. Borden and Miss Wood were happy to see you guys. All right. So here are your learning targets for today's class. All right. Number one is you can analyze a political cartoon. We're going to go back to that as well. All right. Number two is that you can read a chart and then apply that knowledge to your mapping skills. All right. So translating one form of information into another form of information. All right. Your third learning target is that you can communicate with your peers in a respectful manner. Okay. And we're going to talk about how you're going to do that later on. And then again, always working on our writing skills, right? I can write a well-developed paragraph. We're going to keep working on that. So we're going to do a quick think, pair, share. If you want a better visual of the political cartoon, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually going to help me quite a bit as well for your looking at your prior knowledge as to what you already know about the Holocaust. All right. So really what I want you guys to do is I want you to take a look at this political cartoon. It is in the assignment as well. You might get a better visual of it in the assignment, but I want you to take a look at this political cartoon and I really want you guys to analyze it. What is Dr. Seuss's message? And what are the techniques that he employs within his cartoon, within his drawing? Okay, I'm actually going to give you a bit of time to really think about this. All right, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. If you need to go and do a little bit of research, go ahead. Then we're going to partner up and we can discuss it, and then we're going to share out to the class. All right, so let's take 5 minutes, and on your own, how much of the cartoon can you analyze? What is the message that Dr. Seuss is trying to send here? All right, you've got 5 minutes. Go ahead and get started. All right. So hopefully you've got a little bit of an idea of what the political cartoon might be referencing. Okay. So now what I want to do, you guys, is now I want to partner up and really discuss the cartoon. So if everybody in Blackboard can raise their hands, and that way we'll mix up your guys' partners as well here, so that we can easily just see who is ready to partner up. All right. So let's go. Ali, Anthony, Corbin. Eric, Josh B, Costin, I need you guys raising your hands, please, so that we can get started on partnering up. Thank you. All right. Okay, so if you haven't raised your hand, I'm still partnering you up. All right, so just be aware, and whoever I partner you up with, you guys, make sure that you remember who you're partnered up with for the rest of the class. All right. So let's do this really quickly, you guys. So Jesse and Leeds, if you guys can go together. Jonah and Josh L. Connor and Jenna. Jenica and Madison. Kaylin and Costin. Josh B and Ali. Anthony and Connor. And then Corbin and Eric. All right. So go ahead, you guys. And I'm actually going to give you quite a bit of time again to discuss with your partner, all right? Because I think you can really help each other out here, all right? So I'm actually gonna give you 10 minutes, all right? And you can get started on that. Connor, you were with, well, I don't know, because you put your hand down. Does anybody know who I partnered Connor up with? Who did I partner him up with, you guys? There you go. There you go, Connor. You're with Anthony. All right, so 10 minutes, you guys. Good, ladies and gentlemen. You guys had some fantastic conversations going on. So I'm going to bring up just the whiteboard here, you guys. And I just want to make sure I'm on the right one. I think this is mine. Yes. All right. So in the room chat now, I want to quickly discuss the cartoon. So let's start out super easy. Let's get into this, okay? What are some of the techniques that Dr. Seuss used in his cartoon that you guys noticed? Just type them into the room chat. What was one thing that you guys noticed? And if we double up on what we noticed, that's totally fine. That means it was a good job, and that's one of the first things that drew your eye to that, right? Absolutely. So give me an example, Jonah, of what he exaggerated. Good. So Madison, that dark and light definitely was used, that was discussed for sure. So shading, okay. Labeling was in there, absolutely. Yeah, Jonah, good. And some of them were like really, really big, right? Good. Okay, and there was an exaggeration of how many were actually in the cartoon. Absolutely. Okay, so we definitely had some exaggeration. We definitely had some shading that was used. We definitely had labeling. What else? There's one major other one that I noticed, right, with the song. What was that? What would that be called? Do you guys remember? Yes, Kaylin. Yes. Good. There was a comparison there, right? A metaphor? Absolutely. Yeah. But remember too, the actual putting the song lyrics in there, you guys, that's called a caption, right? So putting in captions, that's also helps the reader or your audience aware and trying to interpret the message, right? Yes, absolutely. I loved that reference. And Kaylin, I noticed you when you were chatting, you were talking about that, right? Absolutely. Okay, you can kind of make that comparison between hunting for a sport, right? As in how we look at hunting today and how Hitler looked at persecuting the Jews, right? As a sport. Okay, there was another, now, okay, so now that we've gotten a lot of the techniques that Dr. Seuss used, what do you guys think the message was of the cartoon? And a lot of you guys hit on some really good points. What did you guys think? Or even some other questions that may have come up during your discussion that you may not have understood. Was there something that you maybe didn't even understand? Let's bring that up in the conversation. So we definitely know the cartoon was in reference to the Holocaust, right? How did we know? And I see Josh and Kaylin, you guys are typing. That's fantastic. Okay, so how did you know that, Josh? Yeah, right? That's good. That was a good reference. And that's funny, Josh, I didn't even pick up on that until you guys were actually talking about that aspect of the cartoon. I was like, wow, I didn't even pick up on that aspect. A few of you guys, as your conversations, really picked up on the religious aspect of the cartoon as well, right? Yeah, right? That only God would grow trees for my sport. It almost gives Hitler that arrogance, right? Putting him above everybody else because he has that relationship with God, right? And God wants to fulfill his destiny. And then I think it was Anthony mentioned something about, oh, now I've lost it. Mommy brain. Mommy brain drives me insane. It'll come back to me. But here's some other things. So what else? First of all, my question was, how did you know it was Hitler in the cartoon? Okay, good. So there was another technique, right, Jenna? What is that called? Actually, because, right, the Nazi symbol was on his armband, right? Do you guys remember what that is called? That's a technique that we talked about last class. And yes, The mustache, right? Those were your two big clues as well. Do you guys remember what that's called though? Jonah, you basically said it. It's symbolism, right? That is like a standard sign for Nazi, right? Is the swastika. So we knew that that was Hitler. What I didn't notice, here's my question to you guys, because I was kind of hoping someone would mention it in their conversation and nobody did. There was a label on the other character in the cartoon. Did anybody notice that label? Because to me, I was thinking, is anyone going to mention who that other guy is? So go back to the cartoon. What is the label on that gentleman? The other, not Hitler. Yeah. So who's that? Question of the day. Does anybody know who that is? Who Laval is? This is where Google becomes really important. Good. Jonah, did you actually Google that, or were you just guessing because of his last name, it was French? Because that's a pretty good inference, right? Laval is a French name, and you're right. Yeah, you're right. He's from France. So if you actually Google him, okay, and you Google, say, like Laval World War II, you'll find out that he was actually the French prime minister at the time, right, you guys? And that he actually defected into Germany at the time. So this was actually a political reference to that event as well, that he was almost like a sidekick to Hitler. And they had a partnership. So it's very, very interesting to see that. That was who Dr. Seuss chose to represent in that cartoon. And you guys picked up on some really good underlying meaning within that as well. Fantastic, you guys. So now that we're kind of getting back into that political cartoon, we're getting back into our mindset here. Now what I want to do is to go into the second part. We're going to start acquiring some knowledge around the Holocaust. So you will notice in the assignment, you guys, I've got a chart, okay? And that chart is listing about 10 of the biggest concentration camps in Europe during World War II, okay? So I want you to kind of dissect that chart. You're going to use that chart. Now we're going to go back to our partner work, okay? So same partner that you were just with. And you'll notice that there's some questions, okay? There's about 8 questions. And this is just going to give me a quick snippet to see whether or not you guys can read that chart or not, right? This is some skill-based work that I want you guys to use. So I'm going to give you between you and your partner, you need to answer those 8 questions. And I think you're only going to need about 5 minutes. These aren't hard questions. It literally is just extrapolating information from a chart to answer the questions. So I'd like to see your answers in the private chat so that I can tell, yes, you're getting this and how to read a chart. All right. And then we're going to take that information and use it even further to practice some skills. So same partners, 5 minutes, answer those 8 questions together. All right. Go ahead and get started, you guys. All right. I'm just going to give you guys a couple more seconds just to finish that off because I see some of you are just right near the end. So that's good. Thank you to those of you who are participating in this and have gotten and it looks like you guys are clearly able to read the chart. That's good. It's easy for me to see and just do a quick check of understanding, see that you can extrapolate that information. All right. So now what I want you to do with this information is the following, okay? And I'm not going to give you a bunch, I'm going to maybe give you about 15 minutes to complete this, okay, you guys? So now what I want to do is take those skills, those chart reading skills, and now apply it to can you find those camps on a map. So I have a map in the assignment for you guys. Please download that, all right? Might be easiest just to print it off if you have that possibility. If not, you might have to just insert in a Word, because it is on a Word doc, you guys, but the map is actually an image. So you might have to insert, say, like a star or something, or do different colored circles for each camp, and then give me a legend at the bottom of the camp, okay? Or at the bottom of the map. So you can use, if you've got an atlas at home, fantastic. If not, it might be way easier to use the internet, you guys. And what I want you to do is just find where those camps were located as close to as possible, all right? So as an example, if we take that first camp, Auschwitz, okay, let's just take Auschwitz as an example, okay? If we go to, here we go, and we type in Auschwitz and make sure I'm spelling it right, location, Europe. Maybe just type in some keywords, right? Okay, and basically you can easily either go to your images tab, or if you can find, here you go. So it looks like it was located in Poland. And if you need a better map or, you know, somewhere easier to find, right? So maybe if we go to images, you might be able to actually find specifically, look at that, right? So now we can take, you know, if you look at this image, you guys, here it is. It was in the southern tip of Poland. So now if you can take that and transfer it to your map, that is what I'm looking for. Oh, that's cool, Maddie. Yeah, because there's a huge memorial site there, right? Huge memorial site. Actually, I was telling Mr. Ross this story, and I hope your sister wasn't one of these people. There was a gentleman on social media. I think he's a blogger, like quite a well-known blogger. He was noticing that a lot of people, younger generations, that are traveling to the Holocaust War memorial, right, in Poland, they were taking selfies in the war memorial or in the Holocaust memorial, and in like poses that just were not appropriate, right? There's selfies of people doing yoga. There's selfies of, you know, like people like, you know, with just crazy selfies. And it's a very sad place. It's a somber place to visit. I don't think selfies is really the best time. Oh, good medicine. So this is just what reminded me of this story. So what this blogger did was he actually screen captured all those selfies that he found of people in the Holocaust memorial, and he posted them on his blog. And what he did was, but he photoshopped in famous photos from the Holocaust. So instead of now seeing the Holocaust memorial in the background, now you see true primary sources of Holocaust images in the background with people doing selfies. And it's very, very powerful. It looks like horrible, right? So now those are splattered all over the internet. And the only way those people can get them down is they have to actually write to a Holocaust survivor and apologize for doing that. And they also have to send the letter to this blogger, and he will remove their photograph. It's very, very interesting. So anyways, you guys, that is your next task. So let's take 15 minutes, go ahead and locate on the map where those concentration camps are located. All right, go ahead and get started, you guys. Is it better? Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so I was just saying, you guys, if you guys can come on back, give me a green check mark, please, in Blackboard. Even if you didn't finish finding all the concentration camps in Europe, that's okay, you guys. You'll have more time to work on that in a second here, but I want to move on so that we fit everything in today. All right, so make sure you give me those green check marks, please. So Jonah, Josh L, Costin, Ali, okay, just so we get ready to go here. And the map is being handed in though. All right, you guys, you need to submit the map as part of your assignment. So once you are done the map, make sure that that gets submitted into Moodle. Now where I want to go, now that you have a good basis of, you know, where the major camps were in Europe, now I want to delve in and really look at what happened in those camps. What was it like to live in those camps and be part of that experience? So what I have is a documentary for you guys to watch. What I love about this documentary, you guys, is it's a survivor from the Holocaust, but she takes two young girls who are like your guys' age back to the camp that she was in and really describes them and answers their questions around what life was like in a camp. Okay, so I'm just pre-warning you. There's, you know, the Holocaust survivor likes her language. She does use a few swear words in there to spice it up. So I'm just pre-warning you guys. All right, it's nothing too bad. So this documentary is about 45 minutes long though. All right, so I do want you to watch it right now because we're going to come back and do an activity around this documentary. All right, so I'm going to put 45 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'll give you a little bit longer because I think it's like 47. So we'll put 50 minutes on the timer. And you know what? Actually, Mr. Russ, don't have to worry about the timer. You know what? This is where I'm going to stop live classroom. Okay, you guys? And you guys can have some time, 50 minutes, to watch the video, and then we'll just reconvene back in Blackboard. All right, because the majority of what we're going to do is back in Blackboard after we watch the documentary. All right, so you guys start watching the documentary. I'll head back to my office. We will reconvene in about 50 minutes. Please watch the documentary. You need to have watched the documentary to participate in the next aspect of the lesson. All right, so go ahead, you guys, and get started on that.